day light, all night light, offense light, defense light, it's squad light, and it's
Camera one. Rolling.
We're on camera one. Testing number 2. Here we go. Come on. Guys, welcome to another daily episode. That's not true. I don't know why I always start with a bit of a false advertisement. Welcome to another episode of Shane and Tia's YouTube channel. What we would love to do is give a quick update on where we're at, what's happening with us, and then certainly talk about the CrossFit Open for this season. Right in front of me here I have Tia. Tia's just going to elaborate about her life and what she's been up to for the last 6 months. Oh no, that's not true.
Well, okay, so basically, ever since September, I've been directing a lot of my attention to our bobsled season.
Correct.
And so we left Nashville, we went up to Lake Placid in upstate New York, and we started training for the bobsled. In the month of October, I did come back to CrossFit and I competed at the Rogue Invitational, but then Shane and I, after Rogue Invitational, flew all the way over to Europe, and we kicked off our very first, World Cup series in the bobsled world. So that was really enjoyable at the time, and something that I think we will take a lot of incredible memories from, and just seeing a completely different sport and environment and just like experience was refreshing, to say the least. But it also was just really inspiring, because the sport of bobsled, if you aren't in the sport, I don't think you can really grasp or appreciate the time that the athletes have to put into the sport outside of actually sliding down the track. And for Shane and I, that was something that was really, really cool to experience. And we did a lot of driving. We were literally living on the road, living out of Airbnbs throughout the whole of November, December, and then January. And we were going from one track to another. One of the shortest drive from one location to another was probably 5 hours. And then the longest was like a 24-hour stint. So it was just simply incredible.
Yeah, so I think with bobsled too, especially with that CrossFit audience, we feel that bobsled actually has a lot of similarities to CrossFit, in the sense that a lot of phenomenal athletes do bobsled, and they come from high-end sports as well, from a different field. So for instance, like CrossFit, if you look at a lot of the top athletes in the sport right now come from a high-level sport prior to it. So for instance, weightlifting, we've got high-level gymnasts, track and field athletes, football players, and you'll actually see a lot of that play out with the bobsled as well. Yeah. So we'll see a lot of them athletes.
So if you, on that note, if you are an athlete yourself and you are actually intrigued to get into the sport, I highly recommend looking up the bobsled team for your country. I know this sport has been something that's been quite inspiring and really eye-opening. And I would highly recommend giving it a shot and seeing if you can try out, because especially speaking from a CrossFitter's point of view.
So like a lot of the tests, we're winding back here now, maybe 24 months ago, or anyway, 2 years ago at least, just under 2 years ago, when a lot of the testing protocols in order to be a part of this nation, Australia's bobsled team, a lot of the tests were similar to CrossFit, well, fitness, right? So they required a 3RM, 1RM back squat, a 1RM power clean, 30-meter dash time, 15-meter med ball toss, vert jump, and I think there was a few others what would now specialize for bobsled. But for the most part, 6 out of the 10 tests really had a big direct carryover in CrossFit. So like Tia said, if you are interested in that, you should reach out, find someone who does it, and they're very, very welcoming in the sport. Now, to answer probably the future, what that looks like for us, we're certainly just taking it year by year, and I'm sure Tia can elaborate and explain more about this. But just a year by year at the moment. I think what we do is now we'll put that to the side shortly, the bobsled, and then we're going to dedicate and put a lot more intensity and effort into the season ahead with CrossFit. So that leads me to the CrossFit Open. So where we are in time right now, we've got 30 days until the CrossFit Open. Catching up on a lot of the CrossFit news, we've been watching it from afar, but for the most part, it looks like there's 3 workouts over
3 weeks.
Sorry, there's going to be 3 weeks, whether or not there's 3 or 4 tests there. And then 58 days from now is the quarterfinals. And that's what we're really paying attention to. Fortunately, and I'm sure most of you know, that Tia has a good foundation of fitness that we're really banking on her making the top 10% and then making a good run moving forward from there.
I've definitely got a big mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Over the course of the last 3 months. And I'll tap into this and explain it a little bit more in another video, but basically having to put on an excessive amount of body weight for bobsled, and then to try and trim back and find my natural body weight again, as well as building my fitness, is definitely going to be another challenge in itself. Mm-hmm. But you know, I knew that this was going to be the case signing up to bobsled, and wouldn't want it any other way. It's just that these next couple of weeks are going to be very intense. Yeah,
so for those that are interested more about our training, I mean, we offer the programs and stuff, and I'm sure you can find that in our links, but what it's going to look, particularly for Tia, we're going to focus more on the aerobic side of fitness, just given that we've neglected that for the last 3 to 4 months, probably a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
And I say a bit longer because even leading into Rogue, and based off the last few years, nothing had been outside 20 minutes, don't quote me. So we really factored that being our long range for fitness. So since the games, really, we haven't really tapped into a very endurant training plan. So we're going to enter that. We're going to put a lot of training in towards that. We're certainly going to dial into more the high skill movements. For the next few weeks, we're just going to isolate them, just pick them apart, just do a few of each movement, apply that, and then we'll start combining them, gelling them, maybe in week 3 or 4 from now. I think, what are we going to say?
Well, it's just for me, it's also just for me, like learning how to hurt again. You know, anyone that's done CrossFit before knows how challenging a workout can be. And so embracing that, you have to retrain yourself and kind of embrace that suck. So, you know, as your fitness level naturally progresses, you also mentally have to go there and be willing to go there.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We've got 30 days until the Open, and then 58 until the quarterfinal. But what we would love, guys, if you got any questions, especially that we're moving forward and we're starting our new season, please put them in the comments below. Yep. That'll help Brandon and us start navigating our stories or our videos towards that direction, because we'd love for you guys to be very much involved.
Shane's really stepping up his YouTube game.
We're going to step it up. This year's going to be the best year yet for our YouTube. We're going to have a whole season with Brandon. We're going to invest in the lighting. And then,
as you can probably tell,
if we're lit up, we did it. But again, we want to thank you guys for actually following us throughout this journey, particularly Tia and her bobsled. It's been phenomenal to see the support through the CrossFit community get behind and rally behind Tia and requesting something completely different. So for you guys to follow that, to support her in that, reassures us that when we're coming back to the CrossFit Open, that it seems to be larger than what it is. What we initially started CrossFit, it was just Tia and I for the most part, and then to see the community that this has grown, or the support that Tia's rallied with, you guys rallying behind her, has certainly encouraged us. Yeah, certainly for me, but let's be real, no Tia, no Shane, we know that. No, well, not true, there's some Tia people. My mum would rally behind me.
More me.
But anyway, what we want to do, we want to thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. That'll help some form of algorithm out there, Brendan's told us a few times. And if you did want to give us some suggestions for videos, please put that below. Tia, sign us out. Thank you very much.
You know the drill, guys. We'll see you in the next video, and thanks for tuning in.
Peace. I have the last word.